So guys, before I start this video, I actually just want to dedicate this video to Lord FIRESTAFF. Again, thank you so much, Lord FIRESTAFF, for your generous donation of $500. It's just so generous. I honestly have nothing I can say. Like, it's just so generous of you to actually, help out a fellow YouTuber. Even though you had the choice not to do it, and especially with that amount of money. You did it anyway, and I just have to say thank you so much. Again, your donation is truly appreciated. And I also want to thank everyone who's actually been supporting me throughout this time. Not just those who donate, but those who actually have been watching my videos, have been subscribed to me. Even turn on the post bell notifications whenever I upload a video. And, just been very supportive during, my time in need at some points. Like, I just have no words, guys. Like, I just have to say thank you so much for all your support. And again, thank you so much, Lord FIRESTAFF, for your generous donation of $500 during the stream. I just really wanted to, thank you so much. Like, I've been saying it so much nowadays. Like, literally, I'm just like a broken record at this point. But you do not know how much your donation really meant a lot. It really has been showing that I've been doing a good job as a streamer and also a content creator. And it just really means a lot to me. So again, for those who are watching this video right now, make sure to comment down hashtag thank you Lord FIRESTAFF for his very generous donation and also his generous support for the channel. But without further ado, let's get started with today's video. Hey, how's it going, guys, and welcome back to my name is Gamer, and today we're going to be going over the test ROM, the April updates for test ROM, and give my own personal review on it. Because honestly, I have to say this is probably one of the bigger updates for a spring update in quite a while. We haven't really had much pretty decently sized spring updates until this one came over. So it feels really nice that, KingsIsle is actually doing a little bit more work with this spring update. Honestly, I have to say overall, to give you guys a really fast explanation of how I feel about this update, I really love it. I think that, it's good for what it is. It definitely has done lots of stuff that we have been asking for, and even some things that we didn't ask for but absolutely appreciate. But pretty much for the most part, the main things are: number one, the graphics update. Pretty much most, if not all, Wizard City except Crab Alley is actually with the graphics update, especially Sunken City, which looks absolutely, I have to say, the graphics update looks absolutely beautiful for pretty much all of Wizard City right now. It's really good to, see that KingsIsle is actually still going forward with the graphics update. And I feel like they did a lot more work this time compared to the last time they did graphics update, which is only for like a couple areas. But even then, we still absolutely appreciate, what they've done. There's also, things that are on Twitter showing that some of the stuff that are in the graphics update include some of the new mobs. Some mobs had some graphical updates, not even just a graphical update, but they also had a little bit more of an appearance update. So basically, some of the mobs look a little more different. You have, like, for example, the elementals. The elementals actually now are showing a little bit more of the plating. The lighting's a little bit better for all of them, and they just look absolutely beautiful. We also have the trolls, which look absolutely nice. I actually do like the trolls. The only character I didn't really like that much with like the new graphical update is probably the Cyclopses. They look a lot more weaker and scrawny, which kind of makes me feel like, like it's not really that great. But overall, like, these new creatures look absolutely beautiful. They even did one for the Colossus, which I absolutely love as well. But in my opinion, the best thing about the graphics update is probably the Haunted Cave and Trident Avenue. The thing about the Haunted Cave is pretty much it actually gives more of a cave feel. So pretty much you have like all these bats like all around through through the sky, like around the cave, and they actually have their own sound effects too. It's not like you just see like bats in there. You actually hear them as well. So I absolutely love that. Same thing with Trident Avenue, which is my other favorite, is like a little bit more like a darker gloom, but it's not really that dark. It's more like a stormy type of night. Pretty much, you even have sound effects for the thunder as well. So again, like I said, it's the little things that really do count when it comes towards graphics updates and Wizard. Absolutely love the graphics update. Can't wait to see more graphics updates in the future. And honestly, I just can't wait to see graphics update for both the rest of the first arc and then some of the second arc. Even if, like, you know, some of the places like Chrysalis, as they already look pretty beautiful, have just a little bit of slight of an upgrade with the graphics. I absolutely love it over. So really good job that they did in the graphics update. Another thing I want to talk about is pretty much the elixirs, but we'll actually get that out of the way a little bit more towards the end. But let's actually talk about some of the treasure card stuff. So everyone's been asking for these treasure card updates. So mainly we're just talking about the treasure card vault, which you see here. Now, I think there's a glitch right now in test run where basically you can't seem to get your treasure cards back. But I'm pretty sure King Zhao should be working on a way to actually be able to get these treasure cards back, because I think it's just a bug. See, the bug still seems to be there, so I'm actually going to go and inform KI about that little bug right there. But pretty much the way the treasure card vault works is pretty much like any other vault works. You just put whatever you want to put in there. This can actually carry up to 1,000 treasure cards, and essentially it allows you to save more space. I absolutely just love the idea of the treasure card vault. There's actually a recipe in it in Imperia, which I'll probably showcase you guys in a minute, maybe through a picture, so you guys can see a visual of it. But with all these ingredients and stuff. But pretty much the way that I love about the treasure card vault is, like, everyone has been asking for this. Wiztroopers have been asking for this, PvPers have been asking for this, even some casual players might have been asking for this, because, let's be honest, 999 space for treasure cards probably isn't enough for us. So essentially, having a treasure card vault definitely helps in the spacing. For us PvPers and also Wiztubers, who majority of us do tend to do PvP, it definitely helps us because we can actually now make like immense amounts of cards that we need, and actually put them in the treasure card vault, and whenever we are running out of space, we can actually just go back to the treasure card vault and actually refill our RNTC that we need for PvP. So it's very convenient, more convenient than how it was back then. If you were to want to do it back then, you have to have a side character, typically a noob character, and then you have to trade with him, and then you also have to have him or her in the friend space, and it's just quite a hassle. It's a hassle, and it's a lot of work. So having the treasure card vault definitely is something that's going to be very helpful for us, and especially because of the fact that it's 1,000 space, it's absolutely amazing. Again, really love the treasure card vault. Probably another favorite thing of mine for the update. And not to mention, I just showcased you guys this, but this is pretty much a treasure card display. So pretty much the way this works is that this allows you to put like any treasure card you want in here, like literally anything. Absolutely anything, at least like cards that you have, and I think it's really cool. It's really nice to have, and the good thing about it is, like, let's say if you didn't want to display this anymore, let's say you want to display something different, well, you could do that pretty easily. Just remove the treasure card, and there you go. You still have it within your deck, or like whatever you want to call it. But here it is, the Lord Master TC right here. You can also select as a portrait only, which basically just shows the icon, or you could just leave it the way it is and just show like the stats, you know, damage, etc. of the card. So it's really cool. I could definitely see lots of players actually making like their own little museums in Wizard101 about the treasure cards, and it's just like, welcome to my museum of the advanced collection that I have in treasure. I bet you do not have the same amount of treasure cards I have, but I would like to show you where I got these. I would also like to talk about, you know, where they originate from, etc, etc. But I think it's really cool. I could definitely see people like dedicating their houses just to, like, you know, treasure card displays, and just like showcasing like every single card they have, because there's tons of rare TC out there, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be that one person showing off for those treasure cards. So again, absolutely love that as well. It's a really cute little gimmick. Like, I don't really, like, you know, mind it too much. I don't really care all that much about it, but I think it's still really cool at the same time. But let's actually get started with the elixirs. So pretty much we have 3 elixirs that we're going to go over. And this probably is not exactly my most favorite, but it does seem a little bit understandable when you think about it in the long run. We're talking about the bank elixir, which I absolutely love. The bank elixir, it pretty much works the same as the backpack elixir. Gives you 50 space in your bank, which is really nice for those who tend to farm a lot, and these places tend to give you like lots of loot, or if you're questing and you tend to get lots of loot, aka Avalon. Avalon's really well known to give you tons and tons of loot, so it's really nice to have a bank and a backpack elixir at the same time, so you don't have to worry about your space just overflowing with stuff, especially for those who tend to do double gardening pretty often. Yeah, you can already tell how essential it is to have those things. So pretty much the bank normally has like 150 space. You only are able to use 2 bank elixirs, which gives you 100 extra space, so therefore you have 250. Absolutely love the bank elixir. I think it's a really good price. 2,500 is a very good price, and I just think it's good overall. The one I don't like is the friendship elixir. So, not friendship elixir. I should call it the friendship elixir, but that's not really what it is. I don't think I have it here because I use both of them, but we'll go over this in a minute. But the friendship elixir pretty much allows you to increase your friend space by 25 each use. It's also the same price as the bank elixir, and honestly, in my opinion, I don't really like the price for this, mainly because it's just only 25 space, so it's basically like 1,000 crowns per one friend. So it's kind of funny because it's like basically, oh, now you have, instead of pay to win, you gotta pay to get friends. So it's just funny to me. I think it's really weird, and I'm not really a huge fan. Maybe if they upped it to like 50 friends each time, then it would be really good. Normally, I prefer that King's Island normally increase the friendship space naturally, but as much as I don't really mind the elixir, if you're gonna have an elixir for it, at least make it a little bit better. But honestly, overall, it's gonna definitely help us streamers, WizTubers, who tend to add lots of people, like lots of our fans, lots of subscribers. So it really does help us. But again, like I said, I just wish the pricing, either the pricing was better, or they at least upped the friendship elixir, whatever you want to call it, to 50 instead of 25. Then I will definitely enjoy that a lot. And then the last one is actually going to be a little bit more of the controversial end of the spectrum. So we actually have the additional character slot, which I did buy it just recently to actually make a life character. Now, the cost for this is 1,800 crowns. So pretty much from what I've been told from people, it's like around like 30-ish dollars or so. Like, I'm not exactly sure on the math and stuff, but it's quite a bit of money. It's quite a bit of money to actually just buy this type of elixir. And this is just like considering that we don't have like a crown sale, I believe. So pretty much I'm just taking the word for it. It's like $35 ish. So it is quite a bit of money. I'm not gonna lie and say that's not a lot of money. It is quite a bit of money to actually use on. But honestly, at first, why I did actually dislike the idea of the price. Honestly, I wish that it was like maybe 1,500, maybe even 10k. But even in my opinion, I think asking for it to be 10k is a little bit too much of a benefit for us. But at the same time, I also was wishing that, you know, instead of like having the extra character slot just for one slot, you can actually have it to where you get multiple slots instead of one, to, you know, make it seem like it's a little bit more worth getting the elixir. But then I started thinking about the long term, and actually, thanks to Awesome the Sauce, by the way, I actually did consider the long term. I was considering the long term during the time, and then pretty much I remember Awesome Sauce talking about the elixir and, you know, its long-term effects. And honestly, when you do think about it that way, it actually is really good. Because if you think about it, typically how people will normally do it is you tend to have 2 different accounts. One account being your max account, if you do have a max account. The other account being the account you want to level up for. And pretty much the way this works is that you'll have your 2 accounts help each other quest, and, you know, being able to, like, you know, get the loot and everything that's required for like the newbie, and basically be able to be, you know, in ways competitive for either PvP or just be really good at, you know, max level for like questing and just stuff in general. And honestly, when you think about it that way, it does take quite a while for you to actually even reach a side character to a max account, or even just trying to get everything ready for your side character in general. Pretty much, let's say for instance, you took 3 months in order to get to a max character, which honestly, I think it's possible to get a max character probably in 3 months, but at the same time, not everyone goes the same speed, not everyone has the same resources, and you know, there's lots of RNG as well that's included. So like, you know, maybe you might even take a month and a half just farming for the gear that you need, and you don't even get it at all after a month and a half. So like, generally it's like, let's say like, you know, 4 or 5 months at best. So pretty much, considering, let's say that you actually had a credit card, you're actually able to get $60 for each account. So pretty much it's $60 for a year of subscription. And again, it's a really good price. But when you think about doing it for 2 accounts, that together is already $120. Instead of just doing it through one account, which is already $60 for one account, 7 characters, everything's max. You also have almost all the resources you need, and you probably even have some gear that could probably be very beneficial. Plus, you know, let's say like the $35 for the elixir. So that's basically a $95 versus a $120. So pretty much kind of like about a like a $25 difference around there, here or there. Again, I can't really do math right now, so yeah, that's just the way it is. But it's like around a $25 difference, which is pretty much a lot of money. You can actually use that amount of money for crowns, for in case you wanted to go for, let's say for example, the Nambari gear, and you want to just go ahead and get the level 130 gear for Nambari. I mean, there you go ahead, and pretty much there you go. You know, you can use that for that, or you can just use it for something else. But let's say, for instance, you didn't really have access to the credit card. Let's say you just wanted to do a 10 prepaid card subscription. So basically meaning that it's $10 each and every month for a subscription. Let's say you wanted to do it for like 5 months or so. So both accounts are already with like $100 already. And basically, you know, in total, like, you know, both for $50 because you're doing prepaid cards. Let's say you took 5 months to do everything. That's $100. And if you were to just do it through one account, you know, 7 characters through one account, and again, you must consider you have all the resources and everything already, because most likely you do, because you have multiple max levels, and let's be honest, no one can have that bad of a luck to not get anything that's used for the 7th account. But pretty much it will be like $50 plus the $35. So basically, in the long run, you're saving about like $15 overall. So this is just considering that it's like, you know, just 5 months of prepaid membership. But let's say you wanted to do it for a year. So pretty much for a year, membership in prepaid cards is around $120. And let's be honest, for lots of us, we probably might even do it because of the fact that we don't have any other access to anything, and we just love Wizard101 that much. So $120 for one account and $120 for the next one. So that's like in total of $240. And that's a lot. That's a really huge difference. Let's say you were just considering to do prepaid cards only. You're desperate to get membership every single month. That's like $240 for 2 accounts to keep those 2 accounts intact. Instead of just having through one account being $120 plus the $35, which is $155, making a difference of $45, which again is a very huge difference, especially if somehow the crowns go on sale and you want to go for certain crowns gear, because honestly, there are some crowns gears, you know, that are, you know, really worth looking into. Especially like the Nambari pack, which like before I said wasn't really that great, but nowadays I'm actually seeing how really reliant it is because of the change in the metas in PvP. So it's just something to definitely think about when it comes to this stuff. So overall, in the long run, it definitely is a very good thing. Again, King Zhao could have just decided not to do it and get more money out of you by just having you forced to have 2 accounts, but now they actually give you the opportunity to get the 2nd account. To not use the 2nd account, but actually have a 7th slot. So the way I see it is with the elixir, you pretty much have 2 choices. You either do a, you know, you either do a 2nd account and probably spend more money in the long run, or you save more money in the long run with a really hefty price in the beginning. You have to remember that most likely, with all the crown stuff that you probably gotten, you might have gotten some gear that's needed for your 7th character during the time if you were just farming packs, or if you were just farming in general. For me, I tend to get lots of life gear during my time, and honestly, now that there's such a thing as 7th slot, I kind of regret, like, you know, selling or removing that life gear, because honestly, that would have saved me a bunch of time when it comes towards helping out my other characters. But at the same time, it's still really good that, you know, now we have a 7th slot. So again, overall, I do like the elixir. Again, I still think it's a little bit overpriced, but when you think about it, it definitely does save you money in the long run. But what I would recommend is that you do only use this if you're actually having some type of plan for using that 7th slot. If you're just going to have a 7th slot just to have a 7th slot and not utilize it, then I wouldn't recommend buying this elixir. If we're going to use it to, like, actually have a account full of max characters, I will definitely use it. If you're going to essentially probably do PvP for all those 7 characters for like a lower level and such, I will definitely use it as well. Because again, it saves you money in the long run. So that's the way I think about it. And we also have a few things that I didn't get to go over, but this video is a little bit too long already as is. So again, really sorry for the length of this video. However, overall, I'm gonna give this update a 9 out of 10. I absolutely love this update. Again, there's not much stuff that's going on with PvP or like the new dungeon or anything, but typically spring updates don't really tend to have lots of things interact with them. And honestly, there's lots of things I still have to go over, including the key boss. We also have the Decalathon. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And also some really cool stuff that, you know, in the game, like for example, like the new UI, which honestly I won't go much in depth into it, but it's really good for streamers. Even though I'm that weird person who tends to prefer border windows, you know, it's still really cool. So, and as always, guys, hopefully that you did enjoy. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't. Let me know what you guys think about the test room update. Let me know if you agree, disagree with my viewpoints, and as always, remember to stay frenzy. Peace.
And this is how it sounds when I'm walking on the sky.